My key word I have focused on this semester is biphobia, and I would like this video to continue the conversation and information that I initiated in my previous video with the addition of intersectionality, starting with a self-written definition of biphobia. From what I've come to understand, biphobia is the accepted stigma, fear, and erasure of bisexual identifying individuals. This can include only accepting specific aspects of the bi+ community while ignoring the other people and concepts deemed unworthy of acknowledgement by the said individual. To now connect biphobia with intersectionality, I'm going to reference Octavia Butler's Fledgling that we read in class. On page 90 in the Kindle version of the text, Shori, a woman of color, experiences hostility from Wright when she explains that she is fed on men and women. In a conversational tangent led by Wright, Shori is questioned on if she, in quotes, swings both ways. Shori does not experience internal hostility or biphobia regarding her feeding on men and women, and is startled by Wright's, in quotes, terrible bitterness. It understandably shocks her, and she is confused as to why Wright feels the need to know whether or not she's had sex with men and women. Wright doesn't seem to take offense to the fact that Shori has slept with another man, more so the woman, and his tang of jealousy nods towards possible biphobia. Looping back to intersectionality, I wanted to further research how biphobia specifically affects women of color. Crystal Fleming, an author and sociologist who specializes in Africana studies, wrote an article entitled, "Being Black and Bisexual Come with Extra Obstacles, but They Can Also Be Overcome." She details her struggles with discovering her bisexuality within the Black community. She grew up in a conservative Pentecostal church and could not find bisexual role models until college, one of them being writer June Jordan. Fleming writes that bi erasure is extremely problematic for African Americans because they already face day-to-day racism, and LGBTQ spaces are mostly white-centered and geared towards gays and lesbians. Many are not aware of the added hardships women of color face when coming out and finding a safe community. Pop culture activists and other names in the spotlight have also spoken up against bi erasure and suppression of LGBT people of color. In 2016, actress Amanda Stenberg came out as bisexual in a video on Tumblr. She shared that, in quotes, "It's a really, really hard thing to be silenced, and it's deeply bruising to fight against your identity and to mold yourself into shapes that you just shouldn't." Stenberg also included that Black women like Solange and Ava DuVernay inspired her to accept herself. She said, in quotes, "We cannot be suppressed. We are meant to express our joy and our love and our tears and be big and bold." In conclusion, my biggest takeaway from this research is that we have a long way to go when it concerns silencing the bi+ community, specifically women of color. I will never know their experience, and myself and those who want to help cannot speak for them, but we can stand alongside them as allies and make resources more inclusive. Bi erasure does not affect a singular community, which is why it is so important to be willing to listen. Put in the time and learn about other stories so that people in the bi+ community can stop feeling alone in their self-discoveries.